So when we start working with algebra and higher order operations, we get a problem that looks like this. 2 plus 10 divided by 2. So you come along and you solve this problem and you say, well, this is 2 plus 10 is 12 divided by 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. But I get the same problem and I decide that I'd rather just get rid of that division, get it out of the way as soon as possible. And so I say 2 plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2 plus 5 equals 7. Two different answers. We can't really have that happening in math. That makes no sense at all. We have to have, if 2 plus 10 divided by 2 doesn't equal the same thing every time, then all the math we do is useless, and there's no reason to be even trying to do it. So we use something called order of operations. It was decided that we're all going to work in the same order. So the very first step is to look at a problem and determine whether there are any grouping symbols. And no matter what, if something is inside of a grouping symbol, parenthesis for example, then we automatically do what's inside the grouping symbol first. So in this case, 2 plus 3 is 5 divided by 4, and that would be 5/4. Or sometimes there can be more than one grouping symbol in a problem. In this case, we would do the innermost grouping symbol first. 2 plus 3 is 5 divided by 4. And then we would do the next grouping symbol, 5/4 times 2, which is 5/2. So grouping symbols first. Next, we look to see if there are any powers in the problem. So 2 plus 3 divided by 2 squared. 2 plus 3, 5, divided by 2 squared. So the next step would be to reduce the powers. 5 divided by 4, 5/4. I guess I should put equal signs all the way down here so we know it's all one problem. Then once you've finished all of the grouping symbols and powers, the next thing you want to do is look for multiplication and division. And you have to work from left to right. Super important. So if I have 8 divided by 2 times 3, multiplication and division, I've written multiplication next, so it's grouping symbols, powers, multiplication, then division is what it looks like. But that's not true. You have to work from left to right. The first thing I encounter, that is multiplication or division, I have to process first. So in this case, I'm going to start with division. 8 divided by 2 is 4 times 3. And 4 times 3 equals 12. And fourth, last but not least, addition and subtraction. And these also are from left to right. So 5 minus 3 plus 2. 5 minus 3 is 2 plus 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4. All right, so we have a shorthand for this. We use a capital P to represent grouping symbols. For parentheses, powers, we actually use a capital E to represent powers. Multiplication and division is MD, for obvious reasons, and addition subtraction is AS. And that's useful because we write PEMDAS, PEMDAS. PEMDAS. It's a memory mnemonic for remembering what order to work in. Okay, so I think some examples are in order here. Let's take 4 plus 8 squared minus 12 times 6. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot going on. So first thing, using order of operations, I look for parentheses and I have parentheses. So I'm going to simplify what's inside the parentheses first, which is 12 squared minus 12 times 6. So I simplify what's inside the parentheses and I just bring everything else straight down into the next row. Done with that. Now I want to look for an exponent, and I definitely have an exponent, so I'm going to operate this power next. 12 squared is 144. I'm finished with that, so I just bring everything else straight down. And now I look for multiplication or division. I have one here. So I have 144. So minus 12 times positive 6. 12 times 6 is 72, but a negative 12 times a positive 6 is negative 72. And then last but not least, I do the addition or subtraction. So I get 72 is my final answer. And everybody else would get the exact same final answer. No matter where they are doing algebra, they would get the exact same final answer. Okay, another example. Let's do 4 squared plus 11 divided by 12 minus 3 squared. Okay, so we have a bunch going on. Well, first, it's not really a grouping symbol, but it is a separation symbol. The numerator and the denominator are two separate things, so you can imagine that the numerator is grouped with numerator parts, denominator is grouped with denominator parts. So I want to do the numerator first, and inside the numerator, I have an exponent. That would be the next thing on the checklist. So that's 4 squared is 16, and I'm going to bring everything else down. Well, maybe I should work down the page if I'm going to use the terminology down. 4 squared is 16 plus 11 in the numerator, and then 12 minus, well, 3 squared is 9. So I did all of my exponents. Now I have no multiplication or division. Well, I have division, but I can't really do division because I haven't finished the grouping part, right? The numerator is grouped with the denominator is grouped with. So 16 plus 11 is 27. So I finished the numerator group. And then 12 take away 9 is 3. So I finished the denominator group. Now I can continue down the list. So I have multiplication, division. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And so I'm finished with that problem. So I think one more. Let's do 7 times 12 minus 3 plus 5 divided by 2. Okay, so we want to do PEMDAS, right? We want to start with parentheses. So I have a double set of parentheses. I'm going to deal with the inside set first. So when I deal with that, I get 5 plus 3 is 8. And then I'm just going to bring everything else straight down. Exactly the way it was. But that leaves me with another set of parentheses or another grouping symbol. So 12 take away 8 is 4. And bring everything else straight down. Okay, and so I have a grouping symbol, but that's only to protect this multiplication. So I have a multiplication here. So I'm going to move on. I have no exponents. And the next thing I encounter then is multiplication and division. And do I have any? I do. I have multiplication and division. If I go from left to right, I encounter multiplication first. So 7 times 4 is 28. And then bring the rest down. And now I'm going to finish up. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So that is my final answer. So let's simplify a variable expression, I think, now. 2 times x minus y squared. So again, there's nothing I can really do here until I have a value for x and y, because I can't subtract x from y until I know what it is. So let's let x be 12 and y be 6. So now I can make my substitutions. 2 times X is 12 minus 6 is y squared. So the first thing I have to do is finish inside my parentheses. 2 times 12 take away 6 is 6, which has to be squared. 2 times the next thing is exponents. 6 squared is 36. And then 2 times 36 is 72.